Chunking. Sometimes the biggest and most time-consuming projects can seem the most difficult to even get started. We know this from experience. You know how long it'll take you, but you continue to procrastinate and let precious time pass you by. Sound familiar? It's because you're trying to put off this task. According to the researcher Janet Pallavi, our brains are naturally overwhelmed by big and complicated projects which seem them all too complicated altogether. To combat this, you can increase your productivity by breaking up these massive projects into smaller and less intimidating chunks. This makes the big and sometimes scary project much more manageable. We can apply chunking to projects in the following way. 1. List the project that requires your attention. What is it that ultimately needs to be achieved? 2. How can you divide this project into small and manageable bite-sized chunks? This is what's going to help you really break down that project. 3. Is there a start, middle and end to the project? And 4. Are there certain parts of the project that can be divided into specific chunks? For example, research, data gathering, design, build, review. These are just some examples that spring to mind. Chunking is not only great for projects, but it can also be applied to goal setting. Start with a long-term goal in mind and then start working backwards. The long-term goal is the ultimate target. However, you can break this target down into steps and action points along the way that seem much more achievable. Think of it like a ladder. The goal sits at the top of the ladder and then you reach each step as a specific chunk. Hypothetically speaking, if the goal was to run a marathon, those chunks could include running 5K, then 10K, then a half marathon, and eventually building up to a marathon. This is how chunks work. These steps are the milestones which could form part of these chunks. Your smaller projects are no different. There's chunks that you can work with within this. It's worth noting these are generic examples. You can use chunking as you wish. You can break down chunks into even smaller chunks if you wish. The flexibility is yours. Just understand that it's a great tool for working towards your goals and it really helps avoid overwhelm. We repeatedly talk about taking small action steps and this is a reason why. After all, how would you eat an elephant? The answer is one bit at a time, piece by piece in bite-sized chunks. That'll really help you achieve your goals.